Once again, top-ranked, Hawaii looks to defend its national title this week in Los Angeles after winning the Big West tournament by way of a 3-set sweep over Long Beach State in Honolulu. Hawaii is led by ABCA first-team All-American Jakob Tella, quarterbacking the 5th best offense in the nation and delivering blistering bullets from the service line. From Poly Pavilion on the UCLA campus, opening round action between the North Greenville Crusaders and the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. Welcome to Westwood, which has hosted many championship volleyball matchups over the years, including this 2022 Men's National Collegiate Volleyball Championship. Here is your updated bracket. North Greenville won the opening match of the tournament on Sunday, upsetting EIVA tournament champion Princeton in straight sets. That third set went 40-38. And so the winner of North Greenville and Hawaii will take on second-seeded Ball State in the semifinal round on Thursday. One semifinal is already set. Top seed Long Beach State will take on UCLA, the de facto hosts of this tourney, taking down Pepperdine earlier this evening, 3-1. And with that, we welcome you inside Poly Pavilion. Aloha, everybody. Next to Ryan Kalesuji, I'm Kanoa Leahy. Chris McLaughlin fell ill today, and so we want to just send him our best wishes. Get well soon, C-Mac. Looking forward to getting you back here to the arena as soon as possible. That said, Ryan, thanks for jumping into the hot seat here. Let's talk about Hawaii. They are once again the top-ranked team, coming off of that Big West Tournament Championship and playing arguably the best volleyball of anybody in the land.
Yeah, hard to imagine that anyone else is playing as good as Hawaii. In fact, some of the coaches here that are part of this national championship agree. I had a chance to talk to a few of them, and they said if Hawaii plays the way they did against Long Beach State, I don't know that anyone in the country can beat them. They are gaining the attention of many here in the volleyball world with that convincing win over Long Beach.
Meanwhile, North Greenville, coming out of Conference Carolinas, their first ever appearance in the NCAA tournament. They got their first ever win in the NCAA tourney the other night. And their head coach, Dr. Fred Battenfield, saying, hey, look, now we're playing with house money. Who knows what can be accomplished?
That they're just really having fun, and they just are really the underdogs coming into this. They see this as an opportunity for them to grow as a program, to be able to play Hawaii, in their words, is an honor to go up against a team that has so much history and so much talent. They see this as a growing experience either way.
All right, well, let's get into the matchup. Ryan, take us through the Kaiser Permanente keys to the match.
Well, first up for NGU, really, it's about small in size and big in heart. They are probably undersized at every position when facing Hawaii, but they have a lot of heart, and we can expect a lot of effort. And for Hawaii, it's RESPECT. This is a team that knows what it takes to win a championship, but they have to respect the opponent and not look too far ahead.
All right, so the stage is set. Hawaii looking to defend its national championship. It starts with this opening round affair with North Greenville. The Rainbow Warriors and the Crusaders will have first serve when we come back from Los Angeles. Welcome back. The Hawaiian Financial FCU starting lineups here at the bottom of your screen for North Greenville. Keep an eye on Gregory Torres. He is a fantastic freshman from Puerto Rico, 6'4", leading the team with 3.47 kills per set. There you see the rest of the lineup. Sergio Carrillo is the setter, a senior who really started a Puerto Rican pipeline that now runs 5 players deep on the roster. On the other side for Hawaii, you have Chaz Galloway, Demetrius Muklias, who is the leading hitter for the Rainbow Warriors. The Greek connection between he and Spiros Hakis expected to be in full effect here this evening. Cole Hoagland, Guillermo Voss, Jakob Tella, first team All-American in the ABCA, and libero Brett Sheward rounding out the players to get this thing started. And the Crusaders serve first. We're playing volleyball here in the NCAAs, and Demetrios Muklias wasting no time. The 6'6" sophomore from Soufli, Greece, hitting .351 on the year. This is a guy who over his last 6 matches, Ryan, 4.6 kills per set, hitting .415.
Yep, really turning it around. The honorable mention All-American, that time going up with no blockers on him. Hard to stop Dimi if you don't put a block in front of him.
And here's Jakob Tella, and he opens things up with an ace. The team leader in that category, 51 aces on the year. That gives him 52. He's now 2 away from tying the single-season program record held by the great Mark Prescio. as well as Clay Stanley. 2 serving 0 quickly here for Hawaii. Out of system play, the setup goes to Torres, and he blasts that one into the seats. That was Alex Nikolov-like. Remember that in the Big West Conference Championship match?
I mean, I never thought I would see anything like that again. That was pretty close. Maybe not the distance of the Nikolov hit, but just as impressive. Watch this, tries to go for the high hands, instead goes for section EE with the Hawaii fans in stands.
Tella, 3 serving 0. And Carrillo able to set up Torres. Head coach Dr. Fred Battenfield, in his 8th season, he took over this program when it was just a baby. It had not existed prior, and he was able to start this thing up. And he says that Gregory Torres is as good an opposite hitter, he believes, as anybody in the country.
Had 19 kills in that sweep over Princeton. Really the offensive leader for this team.
Tella goes middle to Guilherme Voss. Set was a little low, though. Chance here for the Crusaders. The swing by Diego Rosic is denied access. Voss and company putting up the blockade.
Guilherme Voss showing again why he is one of the best blockers in the country. The newly named 2nd team All-American, closing well, and continues to be that dominating force for Hawaii in the middle.
So here's Spiros Hakas with the serve. Middle set, that goes to Emmanuel Adames, 6'6", 230-pound sophomore. Another member of this roster who hails from Puerto Rico. It was Sergio Carrillo, the setter, who got that pipeline started. This was several years back, and while Dr. Fred Battenfield was recruiting in Columbus at a tournament, one of the side courts, which featured maybe some of the players that weren't as high up on the recruiting list of prospects, featured this big guy who, in Carrillo, is 6'6", 235 pounds. Head coach Battenfield say he had great hands. I walked up to him, said, "Is anybody trying to recruit you?" And the relationship originated there. And he was the first, and then made a few phone calls. In sequential years, more have joined the party, and so 5 players from Puerto Rico on this North Greenville squad. It's put down there by Hakas. Hawaii up 3. Here's Adames. Adames averaging 1.8 kills per set. He's hitting .323 on the year. Had 4 kills, 6 blocks the other night against Princeton.
And the emotions running high for both teams here. A little talking through the net. We saw that a little bit against Long Beach State. We'll see how this continues here tonight.
Float serve from Adames sails long. This is the first ever meeting between these two teams as we take a look at the series record. That win for North Greenville, not just the program's first ever NCAA tournament win, but the first ever for Conference Carolinas. They have won 8 straight coming in. Good serve there by Muklias. Right side set, here's Torres. That was some high, hard heat from the freshman.
Torres is impressive. I mean, he really can move it around. We saw him and the success that he had against, the opening round against Princeton, I should say, goes down the line, but he also has that sharp cross as well. Hawaii's going to have to find a way to slow him down as the match progresses.
Here's Carrillo with the serve, and that goes long. So a couple of early service errors here hurting the cause of the Crusaders. 7 serving 4. Chaz Galloway back to serve for Hawaii. Hawaii coming in 24-5 on the year. They have more wins than anybody in college volleyball. They finished 7-3 in the Big West Conference. Were the 2nd seed in the tournament, which was held in Honolulu a couple weekends back. And of course, they were able to win a 3-set thriller against Long Beach State. Middle set goes to Michael De La Cruz, and he hits that one long. So Hawaii gets the point. Crusaders on the other side, 21-5 this year. They finished 12-2 and in first place of Conference Carolinas. They were the top seed and were able to take down Mount Olive in 5 sets in the conference tourney final, which was held in Mount Olive, North Carolina. 8 serving 4. Galloway sends it long. Well, Dr. Fred Battenfield saying not a lot of people expected us to be in this position. And he said this has always been a dream to bring a team to play in Pauley Pavilion. It's happening here, and they by virtue of their win the other night, get another crack at it here against the top-ranked team in the country. Oh, how about that back set? Torres fading away. Two-hand save, Brett Sheward. Hakas goes OTT. The springs off the trampoline there for Spiros.
And give that assist to Cole Hoagland. He was actually stuck on the right side. Watch this here. You can see him take over the setting duties and puts that ball out to Hakas. Great versatility that time from the Iolani grad.
Always love when you mention that.
Of course.
Here is Hoagland to serve, 6'4", redshirt Frosch from Waimanalo. Middle set, that's De La Cruz. He is an undersized middle, to say the least. Listed at 6'3". By all accounts, he's closer to 6'1", probably about $165 in his weight. But head coach Dr. Fred Battenfield saying he's probably the quickest middle in the country, at least in his opinion.
A generous 6'3". I mean, if he's 6'3", I'm 6'8".
Here's Hakas. And he rattles it through the cage and down for a Hawaii point. Thoughts on just the way things are playing out here through the first 16?
Hawaii looking very crisp right now, looking like they are very comfortable being in this position, actually passing well as well for a team of NGU that can put pressure from behind the service line. Hawaii passing well, able to run their offense, and Jakob Tella, when he has options, this offense can be deadly.
He can be deadly from the service line as well. Case in point as that one winds up in the seats. Ace number 2 for Jakob Tella, and I think that is a big challenge for a team like North Greenville. They don't have a ton of reps against some of the top-ranked teams in the country going through the Conference Carolinas schedule, and so they likely have not seen a server of the caliber of Jakob Tella.
Yeah, hard to prepare for this type of serve, especially from a left-hander. You can see they're a better pass that time, but still not in system.
Got slowed down by the net. The block was up on Rosic. Here's Torres. He was able to spring up there pretty high, but a net violation is going to go against the Frosch. As Hawaii gets the point, they have North Greenville doubled up, and that prompts Dr. Fred Battenfield to signal for a timeout. So the Crusaders trying to get adjusted here. Hawaii seemingly on point, hitting 667 in this first frame. Well, welcome back. Let's go inside the numbers presented by Long's Drugs. The number is 8. That's the NCAA Championship Tournament appearances by the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. 8 all-time, but 5 in the last 8 years. Hawaii, of course, the reigning national champions. 7 and 6 all-time in NCAA tournament play. And there are some memories on this exact floor. Maybe not this exact Terraflex, but certainly in this Pauley Pavilion. Some good, some bad.
Yeah, some of the legendary matches back in those NCAA days with Yuval Kotz, Aaron Wilton. This place was rocking. Tia Carrera was in the stands. Remember, Hawaii was glued to their television set back in those days.
I love how that's what you recall.
I mean, Wayne's World. It was a big movie during that time.
Here's Torres taking a crack at it. And they're going to say that that was wide of the pin. So out of the North Greenville timeout, another point for Hawaii. As mentioned, Hawaii hitting 667. They're siding out at a perfect rate. 7 for 7, 100%. Jakob Tella already with 2 aces. 1 away from tying the single-season program record. Almost got it there. It works the same, though. Forces an overpass, and Muklia says, mahalo nui loa.
And when Jakob Tella goes on this run, it can just be so deflating for another team. Because not only are you just trying to get a side out, but you, of course, want to get a good pass. But the thing that Jakob does is he will start moving things around and getting a little riskier, and at times the serve just gets harder and harder. Like that.
Ace number 3. And he is now tied with Mark Presho and Clay Stanley. 54 aces in a single year. One more and the record's his.
I believe Mark Presho is in the stands. Should have a ceremony of him handing over a ball to Jakob, the passing of the ball once Jakob, should he break this record.
Almost got it right there. Free ball coming over the net Hawaii's way. Tella with options. Goes backside. Muklias bounces it off the floor.
Nice place at that time from Hawaii. Just brought Muklias in for almost a back two. Haven't seen a whole lot of that this year, but showing that Hawaii continue to evolve this offense.
Another timeout for NGU. Hawaii looking awfully sharp. Welcome back. There's a look at Charlie Wade in his 13th season atop this program. 24-5 this year. It's the 4th 20 or more win campaign in his tenure. 11th all-time for this program. But he came in obviously feeling pretty good about the way his Rainbow Warrior squad has been playing down the stretch. Arguably the best volleyball of anybody in the country. And hey, look, North Greenville, this is a first-time experience in the history of that program, but Hawaii still looking the part of a team that's attempting to defend its national crown.
Yeah, and really trying to make a statement with the way that they win. As you can see here, Jakob Tella serving out. Good timeout that time, called by NGU to slow down the setter for Hawaii.
For NGU coming off of that upset win over Princeton. I don't think a lot of people necessarily picked the Crusaders to take that one. And that third set was crazy. It went 40-38 at one point. North Greenville was trailing 18-11 and still worked its way back. And obviously some persistence in that one as the block is up against Hakas. And so the first true point for North Greenville here in this opening frame.
And credit Torres for that serve. He really put on the gas from behind the service line, caused Hawaii to be out of system. See if he can get another point here for NGU to get some sort of momentum back.
35 aces on the year for Torres. That one pops straight up in the air by Shui. High and away it goes to Muklius, and he hits it into the pin. So 3 straight points here for the Crusaders, and they're back within 7. Maybe trying to see if they can find a little traction here. Torres, a true freshman, bringing it across. Good pass that time by Hakas. And he gets the set one-on-one matchup, and he's able to gobble up that block attempt of Diego Rosic.
That's a play Hawaii likes to run in rotation when Hakas is actually on the right side there. Jakob Tella, I would say about 60% of the time will do that back set in rotation 1 because of the success Hakas has on that right pin.
Hakas, a pretty devastating serve himself. 44 aces on the year coming in. Rosic off the block and out. Point goes to the Crusaders. That was a formidable block that was formed by Hawaii on that outside pin, and Rosic was able to tool it.
Yeah, just got caught up in that low seam here and just gets right out of bounds. Hawaii looking like they almost had that.
So here is Rosic, 6'5" sophomore, with a part of that Puerto Rico pipeline. Tella behind the head, quick middle to Voss. Bounces it off of the Terraflex. Voss hitting 487 on the year at a 1.9 kill per set clip.
And they have perfected that back one, which is so difficult. It's that blind set that Tella has to make to Voss because the connection that they have, the experience they have playing together, they have really perfected that as we see Kanai Akana check into the match.
6'5" junior out of Punahou, transferred back home after a couple of years at BYU. Forces the overpass, little joust above the tape. Crusaders keep it alive. Torres from off the net, the save by Tella. So Hakas taking on the setting responsibility. Galloway with 3 blockers up is blocked, and he just touches it over. Oh, Carrillo goes backside. Torres, we got a whistle. It's a net violation against Hawaii. So the point goes to North Greenville. And my goodness, Torres putting a little extra sauce on that effort.
Hawaii may think they want to block some line here on Torres because majority of his kills, you can see here, we see the net on Chaz Galloway. But that ball was drilled down the line. Hawaii giving a lot of line to Torres. They may want to move that block out to the pin a little more.
Yeah, this guy has a live arm. That is palpable. And now you have Tom Curry in as a serving specialist, 6'2" sophomore from Jupiter, Florida. Pass by Galloway. Tella tracks it down, highballs it to Chaz, off of Rosic, and above the net, the swing by Hoagland couldn't get it down. Bump set, here's Torres. Through the block, hits it wide. Was there a touch? No touch, and Hawaii gets the point. It's now 19, serving 11 here in set 1.
And that ball in the middle of that rally, you can see Charlie Wade right now arguing with the down official that they missed it. That ball was clearly outside of the antenna on one of the saves. Hawaii still played that out, but You would think with 4 lines people that they'd be able to catch that very obvious play of violation of that ball traveling outside the antenna.
And a good look at the vintage wry smile of Charlie Wade. See the kill percentage numbers. 353 to 062. Muklias with the serve. Carrillo goes high and away. Touched over by Baker. Pinballed around, and Hawkes will half-heartedly slap it across. Carrillo goes middle. This is De La Cruz. Wrist away into that deep corner.
This is going to be an interesting matchup. The battle of the undersized middles that are both known to be quick. We see this diving save by Muklias and that hustle play, but you can see the matchup between these two middles, both known as jumpers, but undersized for their position.
And De La Cruz also just a freshman. In fact, Conference Carolina's freshman of the year this season. Hoagland putting a hurting on it. And Hawaii gets to 21st.
The pogo stick in full force here just goes up and over that block. That connection also has perfected as the season has worn on between Tella and Hoagland.
Yeah, Hoagland's still developing too. I mean, he is a raw piece of clay that has such a high potential ceiling. Here's De La Cruz dug up over the net by Muklias. De La Cruz a second time. Tip shot, diving save by Schuer. Here's Muklias on the D set. And he demolishes it.
Great read by Brett Schuer. This is a textbook play that whenever anything like, you watch this play, 3 blockers goes up, Schuer releases knowing that the tip is coming, and a perfect set once again from Tella to Muklias.
So the Greek connection in full effect here. Ryan, 4 kills, 5 swings, 1 error for both Demetrius Muklias and Spiros Hawkes, hitting 600 apiece. Carrillo outside, Torres through 2 blockers and out. Torres now with his 4th kill. He's hitting, or was hitting negative prior to that effort. That'll bring him back to straight zeros in the percentage.
And a little bit of a seam in that Hawaii block. That's one area that Hawaii was working on in practice yesterday, trying to protect what they're calling that low sleeve, going low and tight. That time they're getting beat high.
Serve goes long. 22 serving 13, and now we have another serving sub. It's going to be Keone Thim.
And Thim has been ripping his serves here in Poly Pavilion, and very consistently. We'll see if he can work his magic here tonight.
He can wrench it up to about 75 on the gun. Took a little something off that time. High and away, Rosic off the block, 2-hand save Hawkes. Tella will swing on 2, and he terminates.
And the NGU players almost saw this coming. Watch them, they're kind of on their heels there. They know it's coming, just unable to stop that lethal left hand of Tella.
The National AVCA Player of the Year Award is going to be announced tomorrow night. Will Jakob Tella's name be called? That is the question. There are many, obviously, on the Hawaii side that believe he is deserving. Good tip shot that time by Torres, showing a little bit of trickery there for the True Frosh.
Nice tip location there. Knowing he has 2 blockers up, he actually tips this more back into the line, catches Keone running the wrong direction, and picks up another kill, leading the way for the North Greenville with 5 kills.
14 serving 23 in set 1. De La Cruz tickles the net on that one. Here's Muklias. The block was late in forming, and he took advantage. Dimi now with 5 kills on 6 swings. Remember, he struggled in the 2 road matches at Long Beach State and actually ended up getting pulled by Charlie Wade fairly early in those matches. Since then, though, he has just been on a ravaging tear.
It's almost as if he took that personal. I think he knew that he was somewhat even embarrassed of the way that he performed. And really, since that moment, it has been a different Dimi as we see a challenge call. And G was saying that ball might have landed out on that attempt, on that kill by Muklias.
Let's see, Dr. Fred Battenfield challenging that one. The officiating crew, by the way, Dean Hoskin is the R1 on the near side atop the ladder. Ray Mink, the R2 down on the floor, and then the line judges, Jim Findura, Phil Coughlin, Rachel Jensen, and Troy Gravitt.
I don't think this should take too long. It was pretty obviously in. But NGU maybe just taking this again as a moment to slow down the momentum.
Ray Mink, usually a quick worker when it comes to these reviews as well here at Pauley. And in this NCAA tournament, they utilize the DV Sport replay system. So actually separate in a lot of the angles from what you see on our TV broadcast. Dr. Fred has been having a good time here. He is set to retire at the end of this season. He turns 67 this month, and he's got to feel awfully proud at what he has turned that program into in just 8 years. High ball set. Here's Muklius. Aloha ball for Hawaii in the first. Bump set to Torres, and he rips it cross court and in.
Torres is a one-man wrecking ball right now. And just impressive swing. Look at this. He's going up against a well-formed Hawaii block and just goes cross-body, sharp cross-court.
I mean, he's going against the best blocking team in the nation statistically in Hawaii. And he's now got 6 kills to lead all hitters on the floor. But the serve into the net. Hawaii will take set 1. They'll take it by double digits, 25-15 in the first. So Hawaii's defense of its national championship in this opening round tussle is off to a successful start. Welcome back. Time now for the Hawaii Honda Dealers highlight reel, and Jakob Tella from the service line. 3 aces in that opening set, Ryan.
And that's just set number 1. The rate at which he's going, who knows how many aces he'll have at the end of this match. But Jakob Tella really feeling it. He worked extremely hard on this serve yesterday in practice, spending extra time getting acclimated to this court and to this gym.
If he gets one more, he will stand alone, having set a new single-season program record for aces. Currently in a 3-way tie for most ever with 54 after those 3 in set 1. There's an exciting new way to watch Spectrum Sports on the go. The Spectrum News app has the local sports you love and the news and weather that matter most to you. Download today on the App Store or Google Play. Kanoa Leahy along with Ryan Kalei-Suji coming to you from Pauley Pavilion. We're 1 set in here to this opening round affair between Hawaii and North Greenville. The Crusaders under head coach Dr. Fred Battenfield, a former media liaison with the USA Volleyball national team, a former national volleyball referee. He has seen this sport from a multitude of angles. He coached both the men's and women's volleyball programs at University of Texas San Antonio. He is a University of Texas alum, but was approached by the North Greenville athletics director back in 2013 saying, hey, look, we want to start up men's volleyball. You in? He was, and now 8 years later, they're making history for not just their program, but for Conference Carolinas. Middle set, De La Cruz, quick burst, and the quick arm swing. And the Crusaders are in front for the first time in this match. They strike first in set 2.
This is going to be an important start for the Crusaders to just try to get some of that momentum back and see if they can get in any sort of system, especially in their offense off serve receive.
De La Cruz with the serve. It's going to be a chase down, and that's going to be an ace. Chaz Galloway was handcuffed by that serve by Michael De La Cruz, who is the team leader in service aces, 47 coming into this match. That is number 48 for him this year as a true freshman. He was tops in Conference Carolinas in that category.
And they are targeting Chaz Galloway throughout that first set and continued here. Let's see if they get as he serves Vaughn. But that's something that we're seeing more and more teams do, is target Chaz Galloway on the serves. We saw Long Beach State go after him, but Chaz more than holds his own. I think maybe some of them may think, some of the other teams may think that he struggles in the passing department, but he's one of Hawaii's steadiest passers.
What he did in the Big West Conference tournament in serve receive, it was something to behold. Here's Huckus, rattles the cage, overpass. Galloway is going to get Hawaii the point by virtue of a net violation against Sergio Carrillo. And so we're even Steven here, 2-piece in set 2. The winner of this match moves on to take on the 2 seed in the tournament, Ball State, and you know Hawaii would love a second go-around with Ball State. As that one goes into the net. Ball State head coach by Donan Cruz, a Baldwin High School alum. They were able to defeat Hawaii twice earlier in the season in Muncie, Indiana. But the asterisk to that is Hawaii was missing 3 of their top players in Jakob Tella, Chaz Galloway, and Guilherme Voss. Philip Umler was also unavailable in that first match. He had COVID protocols for several of those guys. Chaz Galloway was dealing with an ankle injury that forced him to miss 8 matches. And so Hawaii would love another crack at getting a little vengeance here in the semifinals. Guilherme Voss with the float serve. Carrillo goes outside. Rosic blocked and roofed.
Demetrius Muklius with that block solo. Hoagland tried to get out there, but that was really all Demi on that last block. Just did a nice job of dropping in. And that is another area where Demi's game has elevated as the season has gone along, is shoring up that right side block for Hawaii.
Carrillo going down to the floor to set up Rosic on the outside, who delivers a smack off of the Hawaii block. Sergio Carrillo. It is easy perhaps to underestimate this guy's setting skills. He has extremely good hands. And at 6'6", 235, you would think, hey, is this guy like a D tackle or a D end or something like that? But no, this guy, you saw it right there. He got down to the floor and was able to put up a nectar.
Yeah, great hands and great location on all of his sets so far.
And that serve goes just long. Brett Sheward dodging that one like the Matrix. And it's Hawaii up 1, 5-4. The other semifinal is already set. It will be top seed Long Beach State against the de facto host here, UCLA. Those two teams met twice in the regular season, split, each winning on their own home floors. That could be a doozy on Thursday.
That will be a battle. And in fact, the Hawaii coaching staff made it a point for Hawaii not to be here in the arena early and to watch that match. They wanted the team to stay focused in their half of the bracket and not look ahead to that matchup that we saw before with UCLA and Pepperdine. So Hawaii reminding their players they have to take this one match at a time.
Baker and Adames combining forces to turn back Demetrius Muklius, who now has 2 hitting errors. And it is Adames with the high knuckle serve. Middle set, Hoagland laying the smackdown.
And this is a different set. You see this one set here, just how quick he gets up. But the delivery from Tella to Hoagland is a different delivery from Tella to Voss. It's just a lot quicker because Hoagland is basically hitting that ball directly out of Tella's hand. It doesn't hang at all.
You forget that Hoagland is an undersized middle at 6'4", just because he gets off the ground so extremely high. Another rip that time by Gregory Torres. I mean, it's scary to think that this guy's just a true freshman and already exhibiting the wide fan and the ferocious arm swing that he has in his game.
Yeah, 13 all-conference Carolina. It's hard to believe he's 13.
Yeah, playing probably some of his best volleyball here, obviously, down the stretch of the season as Carrillo goes into the net. And here's Hoagland to serve. He dealt with an ankle issue earlier in the season, missed 3 matches. Carrillo goes middle, De La Cruz, the block slowed it down. Hoagland with the save. Outside, Hawkes, big wind-up, goes off the block and into the antenna. And it's a point for Hawaii. Spiros Hawkes with his 5th kill.
See Hawkes using the line blocker this time. Perfect execution on that wipe-off shot.
Hawkes, a second-team AVCA All-American selection. Hoagland the serve. Middle set, De La Cruz, blocked and roofed. Guilherme Voss next to Jakob Tella saying, "Aole."
Voss doing that job of fronting De La Cruz this time, just dropping into that 3 set. Not a lot of options when you're going up against a block like that.
Previous 3 matches for Guilherme Voss totaled 19 total blocks. De La Cruz tried to dunk it past Voss, and again, G-force not with it.
And, you know, there are a lot of people out there who say the second-team All-American honor is a great honor, and it is, you know, seeing how far Voss has come. But there are many who will argue that he kind of got shafted there. Many believe he should have been a first-team All-American with the numbers that he has put up and the contributions that he's made to this team.
Hoagland into the twine, but a good service run there for Cole. So 7 serving 10 here in set 2. Hawaii took the first 25-15. A set that featured a 7-0 run for the Rainbow Warriors. Here's Baker now on the serve. Right side set, Muklias. And you could just see that set was in his wheelhouse, and the approach was picturesque.
Yeah, pass not the best pass on what was a fairly easy serve, but Hawaii being bailed out once again by their opposite.
And here's Jakob. Will we see him set the record here this evening? Back set. Torres. Access denied. Spiros Hakas doing it all by his lonesome.
Check out this block solo, diving back into the cross court. A little bit of a trap set, but Hakas was not about to be used that time.
Hawaii riding a 6-1 run here. 12 serving 7, creating some separation. Pass over the net. Guilherme Voss obliging and quickly points at Jakob. Another variety of an assist for the setter Jakob Tella. And a timeout taken by North Greenville. Hawaii opening it up here in set 2, 13-7 here at Pauley. Welcome back. Guilherme Voss erupting prior to that last timeout, Ryan.
Yeah, Guilherme Voss securing the net, showing again why he is one of the best middle blockers in the country. Right now only 2 kills, but hitting 667. No doubt Hawaii will continue to try to get him involved in this offense to raise those offensive numbers.
It was neck and neck through the first phase of this second set, and a good service run by Cole Hoagland. Some of the heroics that you saw in that highlight reel of Guilherme Voss, and they've created a little bit of breathing room here in set 2. And so here is Jakob Tella, already with 3 service aces. Out of the timeout. Good pass there by Rosic. Right side, Torres down the line. There's Shuey on the save. Torres, another crack at it. The quick hop by Gregory Torres, and he puts it down.
Another kill for Torres going down the line that time. Hawaii was able to save off that first attempt, but unable to get that second attempt.
And look, he does a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's kind of utility player does that just about anything for the team. 8 kills right now, hitting 167.
Cleaning up his own wreckage. 8 serving 13. Here's De La Cruz, and that serves long.
Great to see the Hawaii contingent here. Good number of fans. Didn't know if we would expect to see this many people on a Tuesday. Expect to see more people maybe later in the week, but Hawaii showing up.
Yeah, you knew they would, right? And not just people traveling with the team, but a lot of transplants who live in the area, as Rosic sends that long, and may have been a little bit of an entanglement there under the net between Rosic and Muklias. That's always scary.
But some familiar faces in the crowd. Pat Gassman is there.
Yeah.
The Antes are here. Also seeing, just a slew of other longtime supporters. Jakob Tella's mom is also still in town, or in the area, in the country.
Hakas into the net. Yeah, Pat Gassman looking pretty svelte these days, playing professionally in Brazil.
See them here, there on the left corner.
Yeah, there's Pat. Nine serving 15 here in the second. And Torres loops that one long.
Service errors hurting North Greenville.
Yeah, that's number 10 for North Greenville in service errors. And so here's Kanatya Kana now subbing in again to serve. 16 serving 9 into the net it goes. This is an interesting stat here. Hawaii 21-1 this season when winning the first set. They're 3-4 when they do not. So it is incumbent on this team to start well. The only time they won the first set and lost was one of the losses at Long Beach State. That was the first night. Tella high and away. Galloway up the elevator shaft. Dug up over the net. Muklias couldn't get it down. Good up there by Rosic. Torres goes off of the dome of Galloway. Great chase down by Hakas. High ball set. Tella. Galloway tries to time it through a triple block. Played off the net by Carrillo. And a free ball bump set over the twine. Tella with options. Middle to Hoagland. Wrist away. Gets home.
Hawaii had a little bit of everything during that rally. Great defense, as well as another amazing set by Tella in the middle of that rally, but a great connection once again to Hoagland, who picks up his third kill.
And Hoagland 3 kills, 5 swings, no errors. Hawaii hitting 500 here in set 2, 469 for the match. By comparison, North Greenville hitting negative 071. As Muklias sends it long. North Greenville, what they represent though, and this is one of the reasons why their head coach, Dr. Fred Battenfield, took the job, is the intention to grow the game, right? And what they represent is that next necessary step for a Conference Carolinas team to get a win in this NCAA tournament. We have seen some of the new programs that have surfaced on the collegiate volleyball landscape, and so this tournament will eventually expand. The number of conferences is expanding. And so this is part of the evolution of this game, and the Crusaders are embodying that evolution right here.
Yeah, and it's great to just see, again, the growth of the sport as a whole. I mean, when you talk about having a team like this 10 years ago playing in this tournament, you may not even think that would be possible. But because of the growth and the way things, the trajectory in which things are headed, it's great to see.
Oh, that was a smack by Torres. What an up by Galloway. Hakas going off the fingertips of that triple block and down. That was artful. Hakas got some tricks of his own. 6 hands up. Hakas puts it down. Timeout, Crusaders. Well, if you want a little more UH men's volleyball content, look no further than Backstage Bows. My man Ryan Kalei-Suji wears a lot of hats come NCAA tournament time. Give us a taste of what that's all about.
Yeah,
Ryan.
This is actually season 3 that we've been doing this, as we follow the team through this NCAA tournament. And really the whole idea is to give a glimpse of the team beyond just what we see here on the broadcast and what maybe fans see on the court, but getting some in-depth looks, some player interviews, and some fun little side notes. Yesterday we talked to some of the non-Hawaii players of how well they know Pidgin, and there's a few of them that actually know it pretty well.
Yeah, you'd actually be surprised as to which ones, right?
Yeah. Philip Humler, I mean, he's basically fluent in Pidgin. I think he speaks, Pidgin is his second language, and then English is after that.
That's right. As Torres tried to go line again, a little over-aggressive that time, though, missed wide. And here's Chaz Galloway to serve. 20 serving 11 here in the second. Good pass. Middle set, De La Cruz. The door was shut. Cole Hoagland in the middle of 3 Hawaii blockers.
And an elated Charlie Wade pumps his fist when he saw that Hawaii finally found a way to commit on that middle and get that block.
It's now 5 blocks for the match for Hawaii. Here's Galloway on the serve. That one misses wide. So now Sergio Carrillo back to serve. He had a great serving match on Sunday against Princeton. Part of the reason why his head coach, Dr. Fred Battenfield, felt that they were able to win that match.
Yeah, it's a hybrid serve. He tosses it like a jump serve, but almost sometimes comes off like a float.
And the triple block this time up on the side of the Crusaders. Little role reversal there as Galloway gets denied, and a point for North Greenville. Yeah, what makes that Carrillo serve when it's going so tricky? He had 3 aces against the Tigers.
Yeah, if you can see here, he tosses it with one hand like it's a jump serve, but the contact is more flat forward without a snapping of the wrist, so it comes out more like a float.
Tella tight to the net. Hawkes with the left hand, punched up by Carrillo. And the Crusaders unable to forge a return over the net. And so the point goes to Hawaii. It's 22, serving 13. North.
And on that play there, Hawaii bringing Hawkes inside for a more of a lob set. But so it just shows that Hawaii is trying to evolve this offense with sets that we really haven't seen a whole lot of throughout the season as they enter this final stretch.
Here's Keone Thim to serve. And he went for it a little bit more that time. That's the 9th service error for Hawaii to go along with their 3 Jakob Tella aces.
It's a little more than I think Charlie Wade would like, especially playing a team like this. He really stresses the importance of not only keeping it in, but putting pressure from behind the service line. It is a staple of this team, but a lot of it is also getting acclimated and used to this playing environment. So hopefully Hawaii will see those numbers of the service errors decrease as the week goes on.
Hawaii's second coming into the tournament nationally in aces per set. They set a single season team record for aces. As Voss misses wide, no touch, so a point here for NGU. But how important is it for whoever advances here off of this floor this evening, going forward in this tournament, to serve with the ability to score in multitude?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the amount of teams that are in this tournament and the level of play that they're playing at, it really can go either way.
Galloway couldn't get it down on the soft touch. Roll shot, Rosic sniffed out by Muklius. Oh, feigning the swing was Tella. Sets it back to Demi, who's dug up by Christian Fung. And then Hawkes, unable to get that block up. Looked like he was in position, but it went down right in front of him.
Yeah, see this great dig here to keep that rally going. And I actually thought this ball went down, but I guess it went through the seam. Sure there.
16 serving 22. Tella goes back row, Galloway swooping in. His wings were spread. And he levitated like he usually does.
And this is really Galloway's best hit that he has. And I think a lot of it is due in part because he has so many options. He can see the court a lot better and just has that ability to hang and bang.
Torres. Oh, Tella was there, but he couldn't quite finagle the save. And so North Greenville trying to make this second set interesting here. It's 17 serving 23. If they can string together a couple of points, maybe force a Charlie Wade timeout, change the tone just a tad. De La Cruz. Pass by Shui, pulls Tella off the net, goes far away to Muklius, and he gets it down in front of Brendan Baker. And so Muklius with his 7th kill, he and Hawkes both with 7 to lead Hawaii. It is Aloha ball. Set point here in the second frame. Many of the Hawaii contingent on their feet here at Pauley Pavilion. And the overpass is forced. Tella has options. Back row, Hawkes unleashes and looks across the net at Carrillo, who was served a facial. Little sportsmanship after the fact. But Carrillo victimized. Hawaii takes set 2. Welcome back. Here are the Pizza Hut match statistics delivered hot and fresh. It is pretty one-sided here, to be frank, Ryan.
I mean, look at that hitting percentage by Hawaii, 439 compared to 089. And again, Hawaii's block, which really has become their staple and their calling card, 6 blocks compared to 3. And the service aces, again, 3 service aces for Hawaii. Taking a look at some of these blocking highlights for Hawaii. And they have become more and more confident in this blocking as the match has progressed, being led by Guilherme Voss. And we'll see if they can continue to add to that, the Manoa Roofing Company numbers.
Yeah. Manoa Roofing Company working remotely here at Pauley Pavilion. Hawaii hitting .439 for the match. This would mark the 9th time this season that they would hit above the 400% plateau. Good look there at Dr. Fred Battenfield and Charlie Wade on the other side. This was a North Greenville team that obviously felt really good about their win on Sunday. And when we watched them practice yesterday, it was about as loose an atmosphere as I've ever seen, especially in an NCAA tournament type of scenario. And a good start here to set 3 for the Crusaders, and a big smile on the face of their head coach. He pumped both fists in celebration as they strike first in the 3rd.
I mean, they weren't only loose yesterday. They were loose minutes before coming out here. They were dancing in the tunnel, including the coach.
That's right. I mean, they're drinking it in. They are enjoying this experience as Hawkes hits it into the twine. 2-0 here in favor of North Greenville in the 3rd.
Hawkes picking up his 2nd error that time, trying to go extreme cross court. Just not the set for that hit.
North Greenville from Tigerville, South Carolina, Baptist Christian Denomination Institution, as that one is served long by De La Cruz. They're officially Division II. Their program began in 2015. Of course, Dr. Fred Battenfield was the head coach. They had losing records in their first 4 seasons, but one of his first moves was to recruit now assistant coach Matt McManaway. He was a guy who, as Tella gets the ace, and that's the record right there. That's 55 for Jakob Tella on the season, and he stands alone. 4th ace of the match, and there is your single season record holder for aces.
And he's not done yet.
No. As that one is plugged through the block by Adames. But getting back to Matt McManaway, the assistant coach for North Greenville, he was a guy who wanted to play college volleyball at a high level. He was initially intending to walk on at Ohio State. And there's a good look at Matt. But Dr. Fred got a hold of him, said, hey, look, I'm going to try to start something brand new. Do you want to be a part of it? McManaway said, yes, I do. And so he actually got a little emotional, not just after the match on Sunday, but even yesterday in their between-match press conference, just recalling just how hard it was, how much of a struggle at times it was in those early years, and to think that here they are now, having won a match in the NCAA tournament and just the direction this program is going. It's a wonderfully beautiful story.
Such a great story. And especially as you see Hawkes pick up the ace, but with Coach Battenfield retiring after the season, you recognize as well they have a special relationship, and they know that things are coming to an end here, and they're trying to savor every moment.
So Hawkes joining the ace party. Almost got a second one back-to-back. Here's Torres. And that one goes long, no touch up front. And so Hawaii up 5-3. But that's the progression, right? North Greenville, they get that one win. Now they go up against the top-ranked team in the ABCA rankings in Hawaii, defending national champ. This is very much similar to what we have seen, the incremental advancements made by Hawaii between 2017 and here now 2022, right? Getting to the tournament, winning a tournament match, getting to the championship like they did in 2019, losing that time to Long Beach State, but then getting back last year, sweeping BYU to claim the title, and here they are now with that experience behind them and under their belt.
I think it's just incredible when you think about it. And when you hear that, it's pretty remarkable. I mean, the fact that Hawaii has been playing for a national championship and being a contender all these time. I mean, some people forget about that 2019 season, but Hawaii was, a few sets away from winning that as well. So, got to be happy with the direction this program is heading.
Oh, as if he was repelled down from the rafters here at Pauley Pavilion. Hawkes comes flying in.
Hawkes might have had some of that Greek lunch for the pregame meal. Some Euros maybe got him going there.
Or some falafel.
There you go.
High ball. Baker. That was a thin slice of bread right in our direction.
I mean, there was no denying where he was going to hit that ball. Body line hitter right here. Watch him just shoulders facing cross court, goes sharp angle inside the left hand of Hoagland.
First kill of the match for Baker. Tella goes outside. Galloway. And he misses. And a bit of a befuddled look on several Hawaii players' faces as they thought that that was an in ball.
Smart idea from Chaz to try to go line that time, but try to overextend there on that follow-through, going out of bounds, out of that line.
Yeah, had a little too much of a cut on it. Two-handed reception there by Galloway, and then Muklius crushes it. Muklius now with 8 kills. He's hitting well over 400. How about Spiros Hakas, Ryan? He has 9 kills, hitting 636. He has hit above 500 in 4 matches prior this season. So the Greek connection living up to the reputation here.
And I think with Spiros, you've just seen his confidence grow throughout the season. Remember, this is a player that came in last year as a serving specialist. Didn't see a lot of action. But just throughout the season, as we see this rally continue, that ball goes off the head, I think, of Chaz Galloway.
That time it didn't, though. Went off the forearms of Hoagland next to Galloway, and Galloway may have to shake out the cobwebs a little bit. That can do some damage, especially from a fireballer like Torres.
Yeah, off the Choco Flan hair do. It was actually Galloway's nickname, if you didn't know that. Choco Flan going up because of his hair. But continuing the thought on Hakas, I mean, just the evolution that he is coming off as a serving special, but now the player that he's become, a second-team All-American. Bright future for him.
Baker roll shot, guarding the back line was Hakas. Tella on 2. And he is denied. Good anticipation there on that side of the net. Michael De La Cruz read it like a book.
And as the season has progressed, more and more teams recognize the threat that Jakob Tella is. And so anytime he does that wind up, he's almost going to draw the blockers, but that's the moment for Tella to actually set someone else and steal that block.
We should correct that and give that credit to Brandon Baker. Heck of a block there, the 6'6" grad student from Windsor, Connecticut. Here's Galloway, goes high hands. Saved by Rosic. Middle set, there's De La Cruz. And he just misses that end line. That was awfully close. He's got that wrist away working, though. That one just didn't curl in, though.
And the Crusaders are not done yet. I mean, you can tell they are battling. They recognize their season could be over after this. They are swinging. They are diving after balls. Great to see that they are not dropping down their level of competition.
Galloway on the serve. Middle set, De La Cruz. How about that? Nifty. The court vision, he just put it where no Warriors were.
And that double commit, the left side coming in to help out on the block, and that's where Shui just missed that release to get that tip shot.
So for De La Cruz, his 4th put down, he's hitting negative 0.83, but starting to see a little bit of confidence here in his game. 8 serving 9. Tella, step out to Hoagland.
That's actually a C set, which is right behind. It's the same back one that Guillermo Voss hits, but see, Hoagland goes off of 1 foot. He can beat the seam, and that's the hard part of trying to stop that, because traditionally we see Hoagland going to the pin. So when you see Hoagland going off of 1 foot now, the blockers won't know, is he hitting that C or the slide all the way to the pin? Another arsenal in this Hawaii offense.
Backside, here's Torres. Tried to take line again, and they're going to say that that was in. So a point for North Greenville and another kill for Torres. That gives him now 11 for the match.
And again, Torres going down the line. Hawaii really just channeling the block, channeling it to that line diggers. The line diggers have got to be ready to dig that.
Pass tight to the net. We got a joust up there above the tape. Carrillo now puts it up for Torres. His tip shot, diving save, Shui. Tella tries to go back set to Dimi from behind the line. Block slowed it down. So Crusaders on the attack. Rosic smothered by the dual block of Voss and Tella that time.
So Tella puts on his Superman cape. Watch this, the diving dig. He sets this ball from his chin, perfect. Then he runs all the way across court, just takes his time, and then comes up with the block. And now he'll serve. This guy can do it all.
Good serve, too. Rosic has to try to send a free ball over the net. Hakas just rips into it as if it was a set from his teammate. And he goes off the block and out.
Credit that serve from Tella for putting the Crusaders out of system that time. Smart play by Hakas to take advantage of that ill-formed block.
So Hakas now with 10 kills, hitting .615. Tella with the serve, and it goes long.
And that's something we just don't see a whole lot of either, is the mistake on the service from Tella, because normally he's so consistent that when he does actually serve out, it's a bit of a shock to see.
All right, here's Torres. Tella gonna go back row Galloway. And that time he was able to find the floor. Just the third kill for Galloway. He was flatlining it prior to that swing. Hasn't quite calibrated here yet at Pauley Pavilion this evening.
I think he's doing some other things well, though. He's passing well. He doesn't need to have that outstanding offensive output when you have your teammates who are hitting, 600, 700.
Oh, the big windup by Rosic, but it went nowhere. Returning it to sender. Voss next to Muklias. And again, Rosic creeping across the line under the net, and Muklias in the area.
Giving a little bit of that stink eye.
Yeah. You definitely don't want to see something like that late stage of a match of this nature. Rosic, those high hands. Good chase down there by Galloway. Tella goes back row to Hakas. And Hawaii gets the 15 first in the third, and the Islanders here in LA loving every minute of it. Hawaii up a handful. Welcome back. Let's check out tonight's Heineken head-to-head stat line. And the two pounders on either side. Gregory Torres for North Greenville, 11 kills, hitting 107. Spiros Hakas, 11 kills, hitting 643. He's in his bag here at Pauley.
Yeah, great to see not only the level of play that Hakas is doing, but just the overall efficiency. I mean, any outside hitter, if you're hitting 643, I mean, you're playing on another level. The other thing that's impressive to note about all these players really is that this is a very critical time in part of their academic. All of them are going through finals. And so in the middle of all of this, not only are they preparing to try to win a national championship, they're studying for finals.
Torres goes through Chaz Galloway and out. And I'm not sure if that may have caught Chaz on the dome again. He's paying the price, trying to offer some defense there of Gregory Torres.
I need to do a concussion protocol check for Chaz after tonight.
I mean, that is really no joke. Taking some of those swings from Torres. 11 serving 15. Tella, backside. Here's Muklias over the double block attempt.
And as Hawaii fans have watched the season progress, I think a lot of times we just get spoiled by what Jakob Tella does. This set is insane. But he does it all the time. He pulled off to the 15-foot line, side set that over his shoulder perfectly on the spot in tempo to Muklias.
And Muklias with 9 kills. He has double figures in kills in 6 straight matches as Akana goes into the twine.
You see the frustration from Kana'i Akana, and he has just been having one heck of a stretch. Just so consistent from behind the service line. We saw that great run he had last week against Long Beach in that third set where he railed off 5 points against the Beach. Unfortunately, just 2 service errors tonight, but really has just been a consistent player for Hawaii.
So here's Tom Curry. Serving sub for NGU into the net. That's the 14th service error for the Crusaders. And they knew it would take a gargantuan effort, a near perfect level of execution to make this a match with Hawaii. The serving just hasn't been as crisp as it was 2 nights ago.
And just not enough offensive support. I mean, Torres has 12 kills and just not really getting anything else. The next closest will be De La Cruz with 4. Just not able to get the offensive numbers from other players.
And Muklius misses that deep corner. So that's 13 service errors for Hawaii. They do have the 5 aces, and they've gotten NGU out of system and forced some overpasses, but a little sloppy from the line for Hawaii, you would have to say, huh?
Yeah, and this is something that Hawaii will no doubt address tomorrow in practice, just to try to clean that up.
Here's Carrillo. Tella goes slide to Hoagland, and he bashes it again.
And I'm not sure that there is any other middle blocker in the country that's doing that, at least not what we saw so far tonight. Just a great set. And again, the blockers go up with Tella because of a perfect pass. They have to stay home on Tella. Leaves a open net for Hoagland. 5 kills on 3 blocks right now for the sophomore middle.
Yeah, part of that unique skill set that Hoagland is able to bring. See a little pitter-patter back and forth. Now a bump set to Tella from Sheward. And that's a point for Hawaii. Tella taking it back old school to his opposite hitter days as a youth. And Brett Sheward hitting the rewind button to win. He was a setter with the perfect bump assist. Jakob doing a little bit of everything. Timeout, Crusaders. Well, how awesome is this? The assistant coach for the Hawaii men's volleyball team, Josh Walker, and his wife Tehani, giving birth to their 3rd child, young Keahi, born April 29th, 8 pounds, 20 inches. The Team Walker has expanded and added another roster spot. And how stoked was Josh? I mean, what a run it's been. The Big West Championship. Wife Tehani gives birth, and here he is now in the NCAAs. He is leaving the program to take an assistant job at Baylor in their women's program. And so he is now enjoying the home stretch here in his tenure with Hawaii. What a way it would be to finish with that sort of triple crown to close the deal.
And great timing, because that was one of the concerns, that he didn't know if he was going to be on island when Tehani gave birth. She gave birth the day before Hawaii left. And so he was able to be there for the birth of his 4th child. Of course, wife Tehani, a soccer standout, a former Rainbow Wahine herself, and looking to expand into new horizons in Waco, Texas.
That's right. Tella. Another slide move to Hoagland. Great layout. Left-handed save by Fung, but the second touch wasn't there as Carrillo goes tumbling onto the deck.
And this is the most I think we've seen Hoagland hit the slide in a match. I mean, we normally see it maybe once or twice a match. We've seen a variety of hits tonight going off of 1 foot.
Now we have Jack Walmer coming in to serve for the first time for Hawaii. I think what's fascinating about that last sequence, Ryan, is what Jakob Tella does pre-set to try to freeze blockers or fool them, almost feigning as though he's going to take that turn-on-2 swing, and then they go slide. It's just, what do you guard against there? Back row set, touch shot by Baker, great layout save, Muklius. Here's Hakas over the triple block and down. Spiros Hakas with his 12th kill.
With an assist from backup setter Walmer that time. He took over here, he called Tella off and puts up a great ball, but a better hit by Hakas, just going high cross.
Hakas hitting 667. And Walmer, as we turn down the final pole here in the 3rd, Walmer stretches out. Hakas again through the block. What a layout effort by Baker. The second touch was phenomenal as well, just to extend the sequence. Tella D-set to Muklius. A detonation from behind the line by Dimi.
Great defense by Hawaii. You can see this first attempt by Hakas. But again, check out that set by Tella, taking the blockers with him, juking them out, and setting that D set.
22 serving 14. Hawaii closing in. Walmer into the net.
Try to go for a little extra oomph on that last one there. You could even hear it. He was trying to push it a little hard, just caught that net. But again, another service error for Hawaii.
See the smile from Charlie Wade. Tella turning over on 2. The 6'6" junior from Tonsberg, Norway. If you had a vote, obviously maybe a little subjectivity here, but when you look at Jakob Tella, how deserving is he to maybe be the AVCA National Player of the Year?
I mean, there's no one in the country that can do what he does, not only in his position, but the way he's able to score for this team in so many ways. From behind the service line, he runs the offense, he's a great blocker. I mean, he just does it all.
Galloway goes to Hakas. The up by Baker guarding that back line. Free ball coming over for Hawaii. Tella goes to Voss. He swipes at it and he whiffed. The set not quite on the usual target. And it goes out of bounds helplessly. Point to North Greenville.
Yeah, that was a hard ball to set too. He tried to go, Tella tried to set that 31. Just kind of got it a little high. Now let's see if Hawaii gets a good pass. I wouldn't be surprised if Tella tries to go right back to Voss on that same set.
Yeah, that's the thing about Jakob. He's so special. He can also be ambitious from time to time. As Torres was ambitious on that serve, into the net it goes. And so here we are, match point, aloha ball, and the Hawaii fans in attendance. And there are many here at Pauley Pavilion to their feet. Hawaii looking to seal up a spot in the semis. Hakas to serve. Carrillo goes backside. Torres blocked. Henry, Voss, and Galloway. Finishing things off with an exclamation point. The Rainbow Warriors advance at the 2022 Men's National Collegiate Volleyball Championship Tournament. E kahi e lua aloha over North Greenville. Players of the match. And a reaction from Charlie Wade when we come back. Welcome back. Bank of Hawaii presents the players of the match. And for North Greenville, an easy pick. This true freshman showed out. 12 kills, hitting just under 100. A block and 2 digs for Gregory Torres. And on the side of Hawaii, Spiros Hakas. 12 kills, hit a fat 588, 3 blocks, and 4 digs. There were a lot of storylines, including Jakob Tella setting the single season ace record in University of Hawaii history, but ultimately Hawaii advances by way of a sweep, and they are on to the semifinals to take on 2-seed Ball State. And with that, we welcome you back courtside. Kanoa Leahy along with Ryan Kalesuji, and we have Hawaii head coach Charlie Wade. Charlie, all right, what's the reaction here? You guys advance in this year's tourney.
Yeah, just, new NGU is a good team, and, thought we got out to a pretty good start, and, glad to advance.
What was the objective here today of maybe trying not to look ahead to a possible rematch with Ball State and making sure you took care of business?
Yeah, there was no talk of that. It's one match at a time, literally. And, we just felt that we needed to be productive and efficient. We pride ourselves on efficiency. I thought the second set we got a little loose, whatever, that 6-7 service errors, which, is a little below our standard. But overall, like I said, we were pretty good offensively. And once we kind of got the defense dialed in, we were able to go on some runs.
Looking ahead, now you have that matchup again with Ball State. What is your thought process? What are you telling your team going up against this Ball State team who has already beaten you twice? What's the message to the team?
Well, I think the matches in January are a bit irrelevant at this point based on our lineup, and it was so long ago. And so we'll prepare, and we know they're a good team. They've had a great season, and it's going to be a battle for sure.
One of the things that we also notice here is just the crowd, the support. What does that mean to you to see so many Hawaii people here in attendance?
Yeah, Josh and I were just talking about that on a Tuesday night. You know, we had so many people out here. Just great to have the fans back, and hope we put on a good show for them, and hope they come out Thursday.
Hey, Charlie, congratulations on advancing. It's
Thank
on to
you.
the semis, and I know some of the players excited about getting another crack at Ball State. It should be a fun one.
Right on. Thank you, guys. Aloha.
Charlie Wade, head coach for the University of Hawaii. That's win number 25 on the season. That's more than anybody in college volleyball. We have the updated bracket for you. The semifinal round is set. Top seed Long Beach State to take on UCLA on Thursday. And in the second of the Cinco de Mayo semifinal round, it will be second-seeded Ball State and Hawaii. All right, Ryan, I'll give you the last word here.
Well, you know, it's just been an incredible season to see how far this team has come, how much they have gone through. You know, you heard Charlie Wade, some of those matches there in January kind of throw that out the window. But when you think about that, they had to go through a lot. COVID protocols, players going down, injuries, but they seem to be playing, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, the best volleyball that they have. They're peaking at the right moment, and I think that this is a very special team, and that hopefully, if there are some Hawaii people in the area, you got family and friends, maybe a buddy pass on Hawaiian Airlines, get on that flight and get here, because Hawaii could use the support, as it's going to be a fun environment here on Thursday.
And that concludes Spectrum Sports coverage of this year's men's volleyball program. Wow, what a ride it has been, Ryan. Pleasure working with you. Once again, want to give a shout out to Chris McLaughlin. Get well soon. Fell ill earlier today. Ryan having to step into the color analyst chair on late notice. So thanks for doing that. For the rest of our Spectrum Sports crew, we want to say aloha from Los Angeles. I'm Kanoa Leahy. Until next time, everybody, go Bows.